very much, Heather. Good morning.
Good morning.
Thanks for coming. I appreciate your time.
Thank you.
I know now you are not an ordinary person anymore. You are celebrating now.
I
So it's
guess.
it's like I have to, yeah, hey, I have to go through the channel of I'm just kidding. I'm just messing with you. Anyway, thanks again for joining me. I know you have a busy schedule, especially on the weekends and all that. Thanks for coming in. How's the weekend like for you now that you're a Miss Ghana? I mean, before I'm sure you probably might be sleeping right now in your bed, comfortably or at home doing something,
Something.
something that nobody else cares about. But now you are in the limelight. So how's like weekends for you?
Weekends are so busy. I have to try and get rest during the week, which is not even realistic either.
Do you
But
even get it anyway?
no, I don't. I mean, queens don't sleep. Let's be
Oh,
realistic.
okay. I didn't know that. Wow. Wow. So it's just back to back. There's something
Yeah,
going on every
all the
weekend.
time.
Every weekend. Okay. Thank you very much again, for coming in. Let's talk about we'll talk about Miss Ghana,
Yeah.
obviously, which is a big thing. And congratulations on that.
Thank you.
It's it's your first time doing a pageant.
Yes.
It's your first time going on a platform like this, and you won.
Yeah.
And it's just amazing, and people are just so proud of you. I'm proud of you myself personally because I remember I met you, I think
Yes.
a week or two before
Before.
at Jennifer Natta's women's breakfast meeting,
Yes.
and you were so confident that you go out there and win, and you did,
Yeah.
and it's marvelous. It's just amazing that you said to yourself that you can do it, and you went there, and then you did it.
Yeah.
So we'll be talking more about that,
Okay.
and then we'll just let listeners also, and then people watching us on Facebook. If you have any questions, you can post it on the Facebook live feed. And my guest this morning is Heather Afriyie. She's Miss Ghana USA 2018. She's on the show right now. Now let's talk about your background.
Okay.
You have a master's degree in
Yes.
health administration.
hmm
How did you even get into that anyway?
Well, I always thought I was going to be a doctor,
Hmm.
and I just kind of set myself up for that. To this day, I still call myself Dr. Afriyie, but I'll be able to
Even
add
though
the
you're
doc.
not technically
Yeah,
like a doctor.
yeah, I
Okay.
always call myself that. So just kind of speaking it into existence. So I was like, okay, I'm gonna be a doctor. I'm gonna deliver babies. This is gonna be my
Oh,
life.
that's what you wanted
Yeah,
to do?
that's what I wanted to do. And then you get to college, and
Hmm.
college gives you a reality check, and
Hmm.
you start to realize, okay, I have talents in many
Hmm.
other areas. So do I have to tie myself down to just this specific, identity or
Hmm.
belief that I wanted to, career that I wanted to pursue? And so I took a few sociology classes, and
Hmm.
a lot of those focused on health disparities, both,
Okay. That's
locally
your
and
undergrad.
abroad. Yeah.
Okay.
And so then I thought to myself, like, oh, I could go into healthcare administration because this is a field that allows you to tackle all of these health disparities, whether it's locally or globally, and allows you to kind of give the best patient experience without having that one-on-one with a patient that
Okay.
you would like with a
Hmm.
doctor. And so I changed it up, I switched it up, and asked God for that guidance, and I got it, and
Hmm.
now I have a master's degree in healthcare
Wow.
administration.
Wow. And you love it too.
I
It's
love
not
it.
it's not like you're just doing it
Oh
for,
no, no, I
doing sake.
absolutely love it.
Mm, mm.
Yes,
Wow,
absolutely.
congratulations. And how's the experience like, you wanted to be like a doctor itself,
Mhm.
and then now you're doing more of like a
Mhm.
desk job,
Mhm.
if I
Mhm.
should put it, in the medical field because you're not literally, with patients.
Right.
So how is that experience like for you? Even though mentally you or deep down within you wanted to be like
Right.
a doctor.
Yeah.
Mm.
So, I mean, for me, it was that realization that I wanted to kind of impact patients on a
Mm-hmm.
broader level than just that one on one interaction
Mm-hmm.
that they would have with a doctor.
Mm-hmm.
And so I started to think to myself, how could I impact many patients on a broader level and provide them with the experience
Mm-hmm.
to have better quality services and better patient satisfaction when they come to a healthcare
Mm-hmm.
facility? And that's what administrators are in charge of. So that's why I decided to go down that route. And even though I won't be face to face with a patient, I
Mm-hmm.
still have those opportunities, or I can still have those opportunities to
Mm-hmm.
speak with patients
Yeah.
to understand why they would choose a particular health facility, why they choose particular services,
Yeah.
and things of that sort. So it's
Okay.
it's different, but it still gives me that patient
Yeah.
experience.
Yeah. Yeah. Because I mean, now you're not prescribing drugs or
Right.
or doing surgery, or delivering babies, as you
Right.
said earlier. But I mean, all things being equal, you're still doing something that you love to do, and then
Right. Right.
you're passionate about. I was reading a little bit about what you sent me earlier, and
Mhm.
there's a quote that a statement that you had in the little things that you sent to me, and I
Yeah.
quote: "You have the desire to improve the healthcare infrastructure in Ghana."
Mhm.
Uh, One, it's a big thing,
Absolutely.
and then two, uh, you don't know a lot.
Mhm.
It's a challenge.
Mhm.
One, you're a female, you are young, you live in the U.S., you're
Mhm.
not in Ghana, you don't know what's going on out there.
Mhm.
Like, why are you picking up this project, or you want to pick up this project, and how are you even going to do it?
Right. So I want to pick up the project because I mean, for me, nothing is too big for my God. Okay,
Hmm.
so we got to start there. If you're
Hmm.
gonna put something out there and believe that it's gonna happen, you have to have the faith that it's going to happen. So that's kind of the first level, the first foundation is that I have the faith that I can make it
Hmm.
happen. And then of course, like you said, I'm not in Ghana right now, not too knowledgeable, and this is me being in the United States right now should give me the opportunity to become knowledgeable.
Correct.
So as a young lady, who loves school, it's time for me to start reading articles, asking questions, reaching out to people.
Hmm.
And I feel like this is the prime time to do it so that when I ever get that opportunity to go to Ghana, stay in Ghana, and really immerse myself into
Hmm.
understanding the healthcare infrastructure, I will have some background and some knowledge. You have to read, you have to educate yourself, and if you don't do that and just go in and say, hey Ghana, like I know the healthcare system is
Yeah.
messed up, let me
Come, let
fix
me
it,
change it.
I'm here. They're gonna be like, this little girl, where did she come
Hmm.
from?
That's right.
But you have to be knowledgeable and have your
Hmm.
facts straight and be able to have those hard conversations, because I feel like a lot of fixing anything has to do with change management, having these strong
Hmm.
conversations. And so with those conversations, you have to have your facts, you have to have your knowledge.
Hmm.
So it's a big project.
Yeah.
I totally
Yeah.
understand that,
Yeah.
but like I said,
Because I mean, the challenging, even the biggest challenge for me that I see is
mhm,
you don't know a lot, as you say. You don't know a
yeah,
lot of things going on in
yeah,
Ghana. I mean, you can read everything you find on the internet,
yeah,
or even books, or talk to people, but you
mhm,
have to physically be there to
absolutely,
see what's on the ground and what
absolutely,
people are facing,
mhm,
and how they're overcoming those challenges. So it's a big deal.
it is.
It's a big deal. But I mean, I wish you all the best.
Thanks.
And talking about that, how are you even, gathering knowledge to, go to Ghana and to help with this, project that you want to do?
Well, I kind of have making connections with people on the ground, which
Mm.
I think is very important. So just kind of reaching out to those people, like they're sending me pictures, they're
Okay.
giving me, one-on-one feedback. I've been trying to do a lot of interviews with doctors at various hospitals in Ghana
Hmm.
as well, of course keeping them anonymous, but
Yeah.
them giving me the 411 about what's happening on the ground so I can kind of get a picture of it. I mean, when I
Mm.
went to Ghana last year, I kind of had my own view of it
Hmm.
myself, and that's kind of what really pushed me, because it's different when you're hearing about it here in the United
And seeing
States.
it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but when you physically see it,
Hmm.
you're like, whoa, this is actually happening. So, just having those feet on the ground and just making those connections is really
Hmm.
important.
Hmm. Yeah, that's right. And it's a difficult task,
Yeah.
believe me or not. And I wish you well. I
Thanks.
mean, I know it's gonna be a great thing if you get it accomplished.
Mhm.
Because I mean, people are looking for change, or it's always good to have positive change,
Yes.
if I should put it that way. Because living in America, and with the healthcare, and also comparing Africa,
Mhm.
especially Ghana, where we are
Mhm.
from, looking at the differences, there's a big gap. So
Absolutely.
if you have an idea like that, and you want to go, and with your experience and your expertise
Mhm.
that you have at the moment, you want to establish something new, hey, why not?
Right.
Why not? And kudos to the people also helping you doing this. And talking about Ghana,
Yes.
how many times have you been to Ghana so far? I
I've been
mean,
to Ghana twice.
not nothing related to Miss Ghana.
No. So I've only been to Ghana twice. So the next
Okay,
time I go to Ghana, which will be this December, it's going to be everything Miss Ghana
that's the third
related.
time.
Yeah, that'll be the third
Okay,
time. But I've been to Ghana twice in my life.
okay.
Mhm.
And how long did you stay? I mean, if I should ask.
So the first time I went to Ghana, I was 18. It was a
Okay,
graduation present from my dad, so I was really excited. I stayed for about a month and a half.
okay.
Yeah, so he took me
I'm
to.
sure you didn't have anything, you didn't think about healthcare then.
No, I didn't. I was like, yes, I'm in Ghana.
Just
This is
enjoying
where my
life.
family is
Yeah.
from. Taking trotros to Kumasi,
Oh, wow.
things like that.
Wow.
So the first time I went, it was just to kind of soak myself into,
Hmm.
this is where I'm from. So meeting more family and all those type of things. So that was the first time.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Wow. That's nice. And talking about healthcare, as we already discussing, let's look at the United States.
Yes.
We live here, and we know how the healthcare system is
Yes.
compared to Ghana.
Hmm.
What do you think can be done to change or make it a great service out there in Ghana?
I think one of the biggest things has to do with quality of services.
Mhm.
So kind of analyzing quality and patient safety.
Mhm.
So what a lot of that means is that we need to kind of fully equip, in Ghana especially, kind of fully equip all of our healthcare facilities. Because when patients come, they don't want to see broken down machines. They don't want to hear there's not enough beds. They don't want to hear anything like that. They're in the healthcare facility because there's a need that needs to be met. And if that need isn't met, then that means their health and well-being is at stake in most circumstances. So kind of equipping every single healthcare facility. Another thing that I think is really important that I don't think a lot of individuals have realized is that staff motivation has a high correlation to quality of services that are provided. So if your staff aren't motivated to work, they don't feel like their work environment is conducive to, something
They're getting
positive.
well paid and
Yeah, all
all that.
incentives, whether they're financial or non-financial,
Mhm.
those are really important things because these are the individuals who are providing those services to the patients that walk through the doors. So if they're not, they're not motivated to be there or they don't feel valued, then they're not going to provide the services that should be provided at that time. So I think those are two of the major issues right now that kind of need to be addressed. But the
Okay.
major one being that we need to actually, fully equip all of our healthcare facilities because, this is where people come.
Hmm. And do you think, I mean, if you look at in the broader sense, do you
Mhm.
think this is enough? The facilities, we can have all the gadgets, we can have all the equipments down there. We can pay the people great amount of money, or workers or doctors or whatever. Is that enough?
No, that's not enough. A lot of it has to do with management,
Hmm.
both fiscally and just broadly overall. So if the Ministry of Health, for example, cannot budget how they disperse their funds, how they accreditate their healthcare facilities, then what's the point of having all these fancy,
Yeah.
beautiful gadgets? And, because if they're not accredited facilities that are known to provide high quality patient safety, services, then what's the point,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I'm sure you're not the only person doing this or having this
Right.
idea. There are a lot of people out there who have probably done it before.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe it worked, it didn't work,
Mm-hmm.
or they are still doing it and it's working for them. However, what difference is yours, or how different would yours be, or the ideas that you have that you want to take to Ghana to
Mm-hmm.
improve the infrastructure in healthcare?
Mm-hmm.
How different is yours? Or
Um,
how is it going to be?
So I would say mine is different in the sense that with healthcare administration, there's now becoming this branch called process improvement.
Okay.
And so this branch is, of course, focuses on improving everything within a processes. You know what I'm saying? So understanding how people function, how the system functions, and what we can do to bring everybody on the same page. So I feel like introducing this concept of process improvement and understanding the importance of change management will kind of be something different because these are things that are now emerging even in the healthcare system here in the United States. A lot of healthcare facilities are now opening up like branches of process improvement because they notice that there are things that need to happen within their healthcare facilities so that they can be at the top standards, but they don't know how to get there, and so they've now put people on the ground to help them get to that place. So I feel like that's something that could be taken to Ghana and kind of implemented and go from there.
And you think there's nothing like that out there? I mean, in your research, or probably they are not doing it better.
Yeah, I don't think there's like well, I'm not sure. I'd have to do more research on it. But if there's just like a branch, maybe within the Ministry of Health that focuses just on process improvement, I don't know. Maybe there is something like
Yeah.
that, and it's just not being managed well, or it is being managed well. we don't really know. I don't
Yeah.
really know.
I mean, talking about it's a very delicate issue. I mean,
Mhm.
when it comes to healthcare, especially in our part of the world that we come from,
Yeah.
this, with respect to Ghana, where we are familiar with,
Right.
people are very passionate about because we need healthcare.
Yeah.
People need healthcare, and so if you have an idea to improve healthcare, people want to listen to you. They
Absolutely.
want to know what you want to do and how you want to do it
Mhm.
and how beneficial it's going to be to the people and the
Right.
community. So, as difficult as it is, and as passionate as you've taken it,
Mhm.
going to Ghana and saying, "Hey, I'm Heather Free, I'm Miss Ghana, USA,
Yeah.
2018. Man, look at my resume. I'm here. I have this idea." How do you think people will take it, especially the Ministry of Health, where
Mhm.
probably you might have contacts down
Mhm.
there?
Mhm. I mean, it's how you present yourself,
Hmm.
I think, which is the most important thing. Like, if I go down there and like, I'm Miss Ghana, here's my
Hmm.
resume, I have a master's, just let me
Yeah,
do what I want to do. People are gonna be like, who does she think she is? Where did she come from?
exactly.
So it's about how you approach the situation. So I think kind of building those personal relationships is one of the biggest things. Like, if I go down there and ask questions and want to be very insightful, and I should
Hmm.
be insightful to try to understand all viewpoints and not just go down there with my own ideas and just try to implement them,
Hmm.
I think I'd have a better shoe in than someone who goes down there and says, "Hey, I'm here to change things. Give me the title and the position to change them."
Yeah, give me the minister of health. That'll be amazing, though. It's like
Yeah, right.
you just came down there and then they got you a portfolio anyway.
Mhm.
Let's talk about anyway. Also, the experience that you've gotten. I believe you've worked a little bit in healthcare
Yeah.
in the U.S. And so you have an idea. You have, if not all, at least you have some idea as to how things are done here,
Yes.
respect to healthcare facilities, management,
Mhm.
and all that. What have you learned that you're going to take to Ghana with this project that you have in mind?
I would say that I would take um, a lot of the tools when it comes, I guess, when it comes to operations. So
Hmm.
for about a year, I worked under the COO of Erie Family Health Center here in
Okay.
Chicago, and Amy Valukas. And so she taught me a lot of tricks and trades when it comes to actually running a healthcare facility in itself. In operations is so broad, but it's linked to every single thing that you could possibly think of when it comes to the entire healthcare facility, how
Hmm.
the building is built, the foundation, all those type of things. And so with that knowledge, I kind of understood on a broader level how a healthcare facility is run.
Hmm.
And so with that knowledge, I would go to Ghana and kind of analyze how certain people do, like certain CEOs or presidents of hospitals run their organization,
Hmm.
and then work with them kind of to pinpoint, pain points within that healthcare facility and how we can improve them. And then that's, of
Hmm.
course, when the process improvement once
Yeah.
again, works itself in. So that's probably one of the techniques that I would take.
Okay. Wow, and that's a great technique because I mean you mentioned that earlier, and then I believe people are doing it anyway. But
Hmm.
you have a different whole approach of tackling this and working. I mean, working in healthcare is something that you always have to know that there are consequences
Yes.
because people will die,
Hmm.
people will be injured,
Hmm.
people will have consequences of not getting the right
Right.
medication. People will sue the hospital.
Yes.
Facilities are not working, breaking down. You need to buy new
Mhm.
ones. All these things put together. How strong are you? Or how ready, if I should put it that way, how ready are you to take in all these consequences as far as your knowledge of healthcare
Yeah.
administration is concerned, especially going to Ghana where
Yeah.
where there are even more challenges.
Absolutely. I think you just have to be strong-willed
Hmm.
and very determined, and set a goal. Like, if I'm focused on saying, okay, you know what, I know the challenges that are ahead of me,
Hmm.
but I'm willing to buckle down and try to overcome every single challenge that comes my way. Some of them I might not overcome, and
Hmm.
I feel like that's another realization that people, when they go and embark on something, need to also realize, is that it's not everything you're going to be able to tackle at once, but there are going to be some things that are you're going to have some wins, you're going to have some losses. And so I think that's the mindset that I'm going in with, is that you're going to have some wins in some areas and you're going to have some losses, but you have to learn from those losses so that they can turn into wins next time.
Okay.
So just having that mindset.
Wow. And then, of course, I mean, it's always a learning process from, your mistakes and all that. And how have you equipped yourself so far under the leadership of, the COO that you're working under? How equipped are you now?
I would say if we had to do levels, like intermediate.
Yeah, maybe 1 to 10.
Yeah, like 1 to 10. 1 to 10, I would say I'm like in the 5. Like there's still a lot more that I need to learn, and that's something that I'm always willing to do, is to learn. So I would say like I'm in like the 5, 6 range, because a lot of what she taught me is that there are going to be fires that you have to put out, but you need to be calm and you need to be patient and you need to, of course, do it with grace. But then at the same time, you need to be diligent, be determined, and my favorite word, be tenacious, and just kind of just let it, whatever happens, make sure that you can handle it in a very, solid way. And then, of course, having that time management and kind of prioritizing. She kind of gave me all of those tools that I know I can definitely use.
All right.